The enchantress of magic is here to cast a spell on you. Find out about the grand opening of Magi Quest, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the grand opening of Magi Quest tomorrow morning at 10, and we're visiting with Denise Weston, the creative project manager. Good morning, Denise.
Nice to see you.
Thanks so much for being in. I know there's
a
lot more of a title to that, and if I had to look down, I could get it right. But we're excited to get you in.
Enchantress works for me.
Enchantress, that's right. I know that's getting a little excited at 7. Yeah. Those colors and all. That's great.
Yes.
Thanks so much for coming in. How do you get out of the facility the day before, Doug?
Well, this is important because I love being able to talk about what's really magic in Myrtle Beach and what we can bring to families soon. So I'm very excited about it and ready to talk about it.
It's a big day tomorrow, and of course yesterday was Media Day. You had a lot of folks in to give them a sense of it, and of course a lot of stories in area papers and on things, on TV last night, area papers today, a lot going on.
Yeah.
Big excitement about that. You know, as you see those folks going through it and trying to get ready for tomorrow morning, you think, golly, it's great to get some folks in. But you've been having kids in probably a little bit to get ready for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a group of children that are actually our board of directors called our Master Magi. They've been working with us over the whole year, a whole group, about 30 kids, who come in once a month and give us their opinions on whether they think we're doing magical events for them or not. They've been very, very excellent at bringing that all together for us.
And how are they selected, Denise? How did you come about that?
Well, what we wanted to do is we wanted to bring in families who've been involved in creating Magi Quest. So everyone from our electricians to people who are working on marketing have come together with us as a big magical team in our kingdom, and our Magi have come to support us. So kids from all kinds of different areas of Myrtle Beach have given us their input and their ideas of how they think Magi Quest really is working for them as kids and families.
That's tremendous. And of course, for our viewers, you know, the bulk of our viewers are in the PD and in southeastern North Carolina. So these folks will be coming down. If they're coming in tomorrow, they'd be visiting Broadway at the beach, coming out for that. Now, is this open to the public? I mean, tomorrow's the big day. The grand opening is tomorrow.
What we're doing is we actually have 2 openings. We're starting off with our sneak peek, which was yesterday, and then we're moving on to a opening, which we're allowing the public to come and play with us. And then we actually have a big event on the 15th as well, where we'll have a parade through Broadway at the beach as we bring our characters to Magi Quest.
You'll have big lines out there, I'm sure, tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow is such a crazy day because it's a big day for the Sun Fun Festival and many of the parades going on tomorrow. I think the 54th annual and John Boy and Billy. So there's a lot going on here in the area, and of course a heck of a lot out at Broadway at the beach, which is really the center of fun for so many folks in the area. So you all picked a great location. How did you decide on Broadway at the beach for the first Magi Quest?
Well, it was actually a pretty simple process of finding the right magical partners to work with us, which is Burroughs and Chapin, and they joined ranks with our company, and we brought in the creative and the magical, and they brought in really great opportunities. And so as a joint effort, we created New Kingdoms, which established that we thought Broadway at the Beach was the perfect place for families to come and enjoy the magic of our kingdom. So
good. Well, we want to get into that. Of course, we've got some props in front of us. Obviously, the wings here. We've got some wands we really want to talk about. I'm amazed that you were able to sneak any out today.
And these are limited editions, too. Maybe I'll give you one if you're really nice.
Oh, man.
We'll have to see if you're magical, though. I don't know.
Well, we
You've
can
got
work
that
on
special
that.
touch?
That's right.
That's right.
7:30 will be up in a few minutes. So, what about yourself, Denise? Are you originally from the area?
No, I am actually grew up in the Chicago area and now live in Rhode Island.
You live in Rhode Island?
I live in Rhode Island. And I have previously was a psychologist working with families in play, and focused my attention on trying to create experiences for children and families to play together in the case of solving problems or managing difficult behavior through play. And that sort of grew into its own capability of understanding what people really wanted, how they were looking to spend time with their families, what they needed to enjoy each other. and saw that actually my understanding of that was actually very helpful in the industry of entertainment, whether it was making really creative and enjoyable toys that brought people together, or it was creating environments in theme parks and family entertainment centers to create environments that truly created interactivity between people.
Now, when you studied school, when you were studying in school, graduate school or otherwise, was there some opportunities to actually? I mean, were there professors who could teach how folks would interact, how children and parents would interact in a play environment?
No, that's actually a great question, because I had to almost kind of create my own profession, and that happened through studying play therapy and working with some excellent people who supported disabilities, which my background is with deaf and hard of hearing children. And what I did is I understood it from many different languages, from the child's language, from the adult's language, of what interactivity really worked. And I have one of the most interesting opportunities for me, and this is prior to writing the books, was I started sharing how to use play with families themselves. I invite parents in, and I would do sessions with kids and their parents together and teach the parent how to actually communicate better with their child using play versus me being the expert at it, make the parents the expert at it. And it was very rewarding for all of us. And the kids certainly like to be able to know that their parents had the right tools to help them through a hard time. And that literally kind of launched my understanding that how could I do this in a bigger way? And so I started creating different opportunities in which I would be able to affect larger groups of people by doing more play groups and understanding of how to affect teachers' way of introducing subjects to kids through a playful way. And then literally creating environments and theme parks that brought people together through interaction. I loved it. I mean, that was the heartbeat of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that had to be.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Now, I mean, is this taken off, or are schools now beginning to think about? I mean, have they picked up either on your books or otherwise?
Well, yes, but I think the niche that I like to focus on is that people, when they're in their downtime and when they want to escape with their family to another place, when they can enjoy just their kids and they don't have to worry about schoolwork or work itself, and they can really just escape and go someplace. The industry to do that is entertainment, and people are looking for that. But a lot of times entertainment separates people. They can't do the same things together. And so I started focusing my attention on trying to create attractions for people that literally brought them together. You had to do things together in order for you to enjoy the attraction. And when that happened, clearly it took things to a whole new level in entertainment. And I'm known in the industry as a playologist, somebody who thinks through how to create an interaction for hours at a time that brings families together. And I don't mean just parents and kids, but grandparents as well.
Right, yeah.
Because we kind of lost that ability of understanding how we play with our kids and how we bring the most out of it. So sort of it is foreign to a lot of parents today. Kids' play is actually very different than the way we used to play. A lot of it is the same, but it takes a different mask, and it's foreign to parents, so they don't really know how to interact with their kids. So I create attractions that literally just put the magic in your hands so that it makes it easier for you, the kind of play permission, to just step right in and start playing with your kids, whether you're a grandparent or you're a parent.
And I saw that, the excitement, of course, the grandparents are invited to Magic Quest. You really encourage them to come out because they have a little extra wisdom they can impart, which was cool.
Yes, everybody in order to enter Magic Quest, this magical kingdom, has to have a magic item. That magic item really works in our kingdom, and I mean that. It is very real. You take your wand, and when you give it a special wave, it will create 250 different magical effects in Magic Quest.
250?
250 different magical effects. And what this is it's an invitation for the kids to take on a new adventure as if they become a character in a real live story. A story more like a video game come to life, where they're the character making their way through different levels, gaining different powers, becoming more magical. And we feel that when you put the magic in your hands and you're able to grow through challenges and different opportunities, you do it together as a family. But everyone has to have one magic item, either the magic wand, a magic compass, or a key, except for grandparents, because they have something very magical that they possess, and that's wisdom. So actually, grandparents get to come into our kingdom free. And one of the things that we like to do with grandparents is that we respect their wisdom. So if they would like, we can give them a special cloak that they can put on.
Wow.
And we give them a special book of knowledge. And they can walk around, and if they have the cloak on, any child can go to this marvelous person of wisdom and ask their advice on how to get to a special adventure, or where something might be hidden, or how to help the unicorn, or perhaps help the pixies fly again, or battle the dragon.
Wow.
So this grandparent, who usually comes into attractions and sit back on a bench because they don't know or have the opportunity to interact, suddenly becomes the focus of our attention.
How exciting!
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's one of my favorite parts of Magic Quest.
Of course, when you, as you say, one of the real exciting aspects we saw was a wand training school.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
setup beforehand.
Oh, it's very
Will the
serious.
grandparents be trained a little bit, albeit they have that wisdom? They'll
Absolutely.
Get a little...
It's as all. Everyone has to be able to feel as if they've got the basic ingredients to becoming very good magi. And the magi is the person who walks into Magic Quest and wants to start their training. You start off as a magi in training, and you work up the ranks to get to a master magi.
Right.
And you have to do that through going on different adventures, and you have to meet different characters and try to work through their challenges in order for you to get experience points and be able to raise your levels up. Very challenging, but very exciting, and everything is extremely real. For example, if you want to take your magic wand and you are going to training, learn the different movements from the hover to the tap to the twirl. And when you learn those different movements, they all do different things, and they allow you to enter and go through the adventure. One of them, for example, is that you have to rescue the jewels away from the goblin and return them to the princess. And there's 4 different areas throughout the kingdom that you have to visit in order for you to do that. You first got to get your challenge at the stone circle where you meet the quest master. And from there, he'll give you different powers that you have to collect. You need those powers in order to challenge the goblin and return those jewels to the princess. So off to the dungeon you go. You meet the goblin guard who protects the goblin king. And you have to have the right spell, which is the distraction spell.
Ooh, yes.
You know,
Shh, don't speak. You're right.
No. So if you hover and wave at the goblin guard and distract him, he'll look away, which is this gorgeous character who you can almost touch him. He's so real. And once he leaves, the gate opens. You're allowed to go in, and then you face the goblin king, who's hiding the jewels from you. You have to zap him with lightning before he zaps you. And you will feel it, you will see it, you can almost touch the lightning as it creates that effect through your magic wand. But if you're good and you've established good training when you went through your first initial magi training, you will get that goblin, and then suddenly the jewels will light up. You hover over the jewels, then you head off to the princess, you return them, and she'll offer you a very special power called the Rune of Andover. That power is fantastic for dueling, which will allow you to duel another magi and create incredible feelings. And what we have done is, everything is done in such a way that if you don't have the right power, you can actually call upon another magi, another friend, another kid, or a parent
Whether you
to
know
come
them or not,
join
sure.
you. Come join you on the adventure. And that's all the playology that's behind it. Trying to create adventures for people in which they feel invited to do it together. Instead of it being something like a video game where it's just you and the screen, we literally created dozens and dozens of ways for you to find reasons to interact with other people, and it improves your magical adventure. As a matter of fact, you get more points when you play with other people than if you just play by yourself.
Whether you know them or not, or
yes. There's this very large room pole in the center.
Yes.
It has all the different powers on it. Let's say the quest master says to you that you need to enchant creatures, and that's a great that's actually one of our favorite powers. When you wave at these special creatures, they talk gibberish. But if you have enchant creature, they'll give you the clue. So you need that.
Yeah.
So you go up to the room pole and you wave, and it will light up the power that you're looking for. Anybody within the round circle of the kingdom could look at that pole and say, they need the enchant creature spell. I better go down there and help that magi. So they come down. They come to the pole where you're standing. Are you looking for the enchant creature? I said, yes. Oh, I've got it. Oh, let's go. So off they'll go together. Hi, my name is. Oh, this is what we do together. And then they probably will form a team together after a while, knowing that they've got certain powers, the other one's gotten certain powers. And really, it's a wink to parents. They'll know probably about 5 minutes into playing, Oh my God, this is nothing like a video game in my mind. This is all
Right.
about bringing people back together again through interaction.
How exciting,
Yeah, I
Denise.
love
You must
that.
be thrilled.
Well,
You're
that's,
just so
that's the
juiced.
part I can't wait. We had a little Magi's come in. This was the best part for me because I loved this when this happened. I was explaining to them about the goblins and how
Right.
you had to have lightning and distraction in order for you to get past the guard and be able to do this adventure. One kid goes, I chose the lightning spell. And so the other one said, wait a minute, I've got the distraction. Hey, you and me, we can do this together. And I
No,
thought,
really?
oh
You're seeing it
my,
already.
it's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Magic,
Success.
that's the
right.
magic I was looking for.
Wow.
Never mind that you could do the 250 effects. That was magic to me, and I bet it's magic to parents. When
These
they
are
can see
kids who
that
didn't know each other.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't know each other.
Wow.
And
That
that's
must
the
be a
best
great
part.
feeling.
That's my favorite.
And of course, for parents to sit back, either of those children's parents, whether they were there or not.
Yes.
But to see
and
that
interaction
occurring
happen.
would be
Or look
huge.
to the parent and say, oh, you have the lightning spell. Can you help me, Mom?
Yeah.
Can you help me, Dad, through this one? And that's another side of it. That
So, of
is-
course, the space is big enough. Again, for viewers who haven't been down to Broadway Beach, don't know what we're talking about, it's in a great location, right, out near the
The
close to
IMAX
the
Theater,
IMAX Theater.
yes,
Right.
and Dragon's Lair. It's right across from
Good
there.
space. I mean, there could oftentimes be a heck of a lot of folks in there. Do you limit the number of folks? Can you kind of give?
Well, we
got about 10 minutes. If you can give a little tour to kind of give a
Yes.
sense of.
Well, when you start off, you go through our magical items where you're going through and picking out the wands. And you can also take your wand, which is a very special magical event. You can choose from different colors of wands. And if you want, you can add new powers to your wand right from the start by putting on some of these fantastic toppers.
Yeah.
And these toppers turn it into a
I'm getting
scepter.
excited
I
already,
know.
yeah,
And you
seeing
dress
you
up
do
now.
that.
Is that something, huh? And they light up, and so when you actually twirl your wand a special way, this is the one of the clans that you can belong to. We've got Majestics, we've got Woodsies, we've got Warriors, we've got Tricksters, and we've got Shadows. And you join a clan, you get one of their special powers. And that actually starts developing not just the way you look, because we've got costumes as well, but we can also give you the ability to change the way your character acts by powering up your wand in different ways. You also can buy your powers ahead of time if you want to. Then you and your family go off into training. Once you're trained by the quest master, who comes alive in a big
A
picture
lot of folks
screen.
are training together or just
You all go into
Sure.
training together.
Right.
There's several items that you can practice: opening treasure chests, turning lights on and off, making some fog appear. Those are certain things that you'll learn initially in the training, and then off into the kingdom you go. You have a choice of starting off with some simple magic by opening more treasure chests and getting gold. You can turn on lanterns. You can light up different effects. Or you can start your adventures, and those adventures and quests are at the stone circle, which is in the center, which wraps around the rune pole.
Right.
There's a large castle to your right, a crypt in the back. We've got dungeons through the castle itself, and a marvelous treehouse to the left. And all of these different places house all of our characters. We've got pixies and duel masters in the woodsy forest. We also have a fantastic unicorn who needs your help and heal the stars.
Yeah, let's help.
We've got a incredible princess who lives up in the castle. She's a singing princess, and she's marvelous up there as well. And then once you start getting past the trickster, who's quite a silly dude, and into the dungeons, we've got our dragon, which is the hardest adventure of all. It takes many magi to get through that one. And the goblins are back there hoarding the jewels of our poor little princess who needs those back.
So there's really a need for folks to come back multiple times to
Yes.
get through a clearly different.
Oh, it would take you to get through all of our adventures, which are 5 of them and 12 quests, a good 6 hours.
Really?
And that's if you play with other people. If you play by yourself, it's much longer. Now, it's plenty to do and plenty of experience to get out of
And
it.
of course, so thrilling for parents who oftentimes will see children playing video games or otherwise see a Game Boy, wonder what's going on there, what's in their mind, what kind of imagination's working with them. I think of just basic stuff, and my daughter's making tea, with little teacups and
Yeah.
pouring it and worrying about it spilling out. And you just seeing her do that and think, golly, what's going on there? I mean, it's wonderful. But knowing that a parent can be involved in that imagination is huge.
Yeah, well, the part that we like best about it is that there's a lot of things in here that parents will understand, and they'll have a lot of play value for that. And then there is the secret world of video games that parents feel so stepped back about.
Right.
But it is the language of kids today. It is how they play. And this is the story about why I created the original idea came from when my daughter was 3 years old. I was working for Hasbro Toys. I was creating new toys for them, and we started what was called Funware, which is their new programs for preschoolers for the computer games. And I took it home to my daughter. It was called Play School Puzzles. She loved puzzles. She put them together all day long.
Oh, yeah.
I put her in front of the computer, plugged it in, and it was an obsession. She wouldn't stop. Her puzzles went dusty, and I thought, oh my God, we're going to ruin kids with this. She came up to me one day, and she asked me a question, a little 3-year-old, and she goes like this. She asked me the question. I go, She goes, what are you doing? Answer the question. I said, why are you going like this? I'm clicking you. You're not fast enough.
Oh, my God.
I went,
no.
oh.
No.
You know, as a psychologist,
I'm
and
resigning.
oh, my God,
Yeah.
we're ruining our kids. I was going to
board
march
now.
back in there and
Yeah.
say, she's not
Hasbro.
playing with her puzzles anymore.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, wait a minute. Let's change this. So I went back home, put her in front of her play school puzzles. She started doing it, and then suddenly I unplugged it right in the middle of it. And she went, what wrong? I said, you have to go and actually put the puzzles together and then come back and play. She did that.
Wow.
And she loved the experience very much. What that did is it taught me to take the computer game experience and find a way to make it live. That way you combine both things together, and it makes sense to both the parent, because it's a live experience, and to the kids, which is they love the gaming experience. It's something that is very fun for them to do.
That also requires interaction on the parent's part. I mean, so oftentimes a parent will allow their child to get immersed in the computer and not get near them. I mean, it really forced them to get over there and to be a part of it.
Perfect. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah,
You've been a psychologist before.
No, I've sat next to you long enough.
You had it. That's exactly why that's so, because
Right.
the invitation for parents to feel a part of it, and a lot of parents who have seen the attraction, who've worked them, especially people recently who've gone through it, like the media have seen, oh my gosh, now I can go back and I know what my kids are doing, and now I can be more involved. It's not so foreign to me anymore.
There's still some kids who are like, get away, Dad.
Yeah, I know.
This is my game. What are you talking? I don't need to go play with anything.
Get away, Dad, until they found out that Dad actually has the lightning power.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Give it
suddenly like,
up.
oh, Dad, yeah. I need you. I actually do need you right now.
That is great that you're encouraging that interaction, of course, and also with kids they don't know, or even with grandparents that may not be their own grandparents, and obviously a real opportunity. Is it pretty dark? Are there any concerns anyone needs to be aware of if they're coming out? I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
We really wanted to focus on the true heart of a kid who loves this type of play, which is the 10-year-old. Now, 5- and 6-year-olds like to play up to 10-year-olds, so we really got them too.
Yeah.
And of course, parents would prefer to play more like a 10-year-old than a 4-year-old, so they're much more comfortable with that age group.
Right.
So there's a lot of very challenging quests in here, and some areas that could be a little scary for 4- and 5-year-olds. So you'll know those scary areas. As soon as you come to the dungeons, it's very clear that that's a little bit more challenging. I'm up for the challenge myself,
I'm
and
sure
I think
you
some
are.
of these kids will be too. And most of the time we get excellent feedback. It's just mesmerizing to be in there. Feels like it's very live. Everything is very real. And kids, when they wave their wand and they cast at the dragon and they throw a ice arrow, they will literally feel cold air blow on them when they do that towards this almost, I think, about 14-foot dragon that is trying to make sure that they are not going to be beat.
Denise, listen to you. You were so into every nook and cranny. It's incredible. Of course, this isn't the first hat for you. We just got a couple of minutes. You think of that aspect, of course, I mean, there were some other locations that set the stage. You had some hands-on experience, but nothing like this. This is a patented technology.
Yes.
The
Yes.
wand here, folks are buying the wand when they come in.
Yes.
They'll take it with them.
You go home with this.
And
And
I
in
think
the
I
fall,
saw
we'll
that
actually...
it had some of the it would remember much
Yes.
of.
Your wand will always be remembered in our kingdom. So the next time you come back, remember the levels you were
A year later,
at.
right, or any
5 years
yeah.
later, forever. Once you
Wow.
become a magi, you're a magi in our kingdom forever.
Man.
And next year will actually allow you to get online and visit yourself in the kingdom. So you come and you play, and when you leave, you could actually come and see how your points are doing against other
against
magi.
others.
Also, in the fall, we'll be bringing home magic. So you will be able to actually take your wand and a special device and be able to turn lights on and off in your own home. So those are the kinds of things that will be open your garage door, turn on your Christmas tree lights, things like that with your magic wand.
That is huge. You know, as you look back over, when you think about your clinical practice, when you think about when you first figured out I'm a playologist, I'm really making a difference for others. When you look back at that and then think about tomorrow, as you fast forward? I mean, can you see all this coming together? Or I guess every day you see different aspects coming together.
Yeah, every day I see different aspects together, and it's funny because we have marvelous kingdom dwellers that will be all in character, greeting everybody, and when they live there, and they will absolutely make that magic come alive. And the best part for me is the magic really about the wave of the wand, or is it a whole family playing together? I think there's a high competition for that. In my mind, I think they're both very magical.
I'm sure. Thanks so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Denise Weston coming up next. She could have wrapped up her career as a child psychologist, but she thought maybe an author would work, so she went ahead and knocked down 3 books. Think of that excitement. Then she could have probably wrapped up as an author, but had decided she wanted to be a playologist and really make a difference in a heck of a lot of not only children but families' lives. You could have thought possibly she'd wrap up with playologist, but she decided, as you heard her say, coining the phrase enchantress of magic. Tomorrow's the big day. Magi Quest kicks off 10 a.m. Give them a call if you have trouble for directions, you want to check times, all during the week, 866-353-6244. That's 866-353-6244. Magi Quest, big day tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Get out there, Broadway at the Beach.